So my field is biolinguistics, which is the science that is in between biology and linguistics. We try to build bridges between linguistics, which is symbolized here by Noam Chomsky, and biology, which is symbolized by Darwin. And this is a quite new field. It's really only gotten going in the last 10 years or so. But I think what I will show you today are many examples of the interactions between what biologists study, particularly animals and animals' abilities, and what we can learn about the human brain and how it processes language. How is it that humans have this special ability that, as far as we know, differentiates us from all other organisms on the planet? We seem to be the only species that can express any concept via language. That's really the central question, the central mystery in biolinguistics. So most animals, most mammals, have connections between the front part of the brain, the forebrain, and the neurons which control the vocal apparatus that are indirect. So they're not direct connections. What humans have, in addition to those, are direct connections. So we have some neurons that go directly to these motor neurons. And these motor neurons are, in a sense, the masters of the muscles themselves. So this is as close as you can get to actually being in control of the body. Syntax is very different from speech because syntax is necessary for all aspects of linguistic communication. Whether or not it's speech or signed language or written language, you always need syntax. So this is in some sense a central core of linguistic communication. And in many cases, people believe that this was the last thing. This was the thing that evolved most recently in our species. Though we don't know that. That's just a hypothesis right now. The question is, can we ask questions about animal syntax? Is there any way that we as biologists can look at other species and ask them questions about similarities and differences between us? Charles Darwin had a theory about the evolution of language that I think is very interesting, and I think it's also relevant to you as teachers. How many people use music to help teach language? Oh, so at least half. I would guess after you see Clive speak this afternoon that even more of you will use music to teach language. Darwin's theory of language evolution offers an explanation for why music might be so useful in the learning of language. Darwin's idea was that the human species went through two stages on the way to language. The first of those stages was a musical stage. It was an ability to sing, an ability to control our vocal tracts, so something that the chimpanzee can't do, that was more like birdsong and less like language. So in other words, it was something like music, something song-like, without semantics. And that actually the use of language to communicate meanings, specific propositional meanings that could be true or false, came later in our evolutionary stage. So it's a two-stage process with music first, full language after that. Now, if this hypothesis is true, and there are a number of ways that we can use genes, for example, to find out whether it's true, we still don't know. It remains a hypothesis at the present. But if it's true, it raises the interesting possibility that music should be an excellent way into the linguistic system, because in a sense it's more basic, it's older, it's more built into our brains than the linguistic system which was bolted on to that system later on in evolution. So I want to give you an example of how powerful this is. This is the best Italian I can speak. Quando sei qui con me, questa stanza non ha più pareti, ma alberi, alberi infiniti. Quando sei qui vicino a me, you get the idea. I can't speak Italian. I can say buongiorno and buonasera, but I can't speak Italian. But with that song, I learned that song 10 years ago, that's burned into my brain. Maybe I'll forget it someday, but in a sense, that has taken a place in my brain that Italian learned in the normal way, word by word, phrase by phrase, has not. And I think that illustrates it provides a practical application of Darwin's theory about the evolution.